gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hold it. You're not that ready. Come on, man. Wait. I shoot up the wall. I shoot up the wall.
I bear witness there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans.
How y'all doing, ladies and gents? Welcome to another edition on Split Decision. With me today is the hottest prospect in boxing, a man that needs no introduction, El Rayo, Valenzuela. Pleasure having you on the show, El Rayo.
Hey, thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're obviously fighting on the undercard of Pacquiao versus Ugas against Sanchez, who's 17-1. How has preparation been for this fight?
Training camp has been amazing. We've been here in LA a little over, I think, 2 months now. I'm in great shape. I feel good. I feel ready. My weight is perfect, and I'm ready to go.
This is obviously a step-up fight. So what statement are you looking to make against Sanchez, who is 17-1? And is this 8-rounder or 10-rounder? Do you know?
I'm not sure. It might be 8. My last fight was 8. But, this is definitely a fight where I got to make a statement. I can't just win. I feel like I got to look spectacular. I got to, put a stamp on it that what I'm here to do. And, yeah, I'm excited, and it's on a big card. Manny Pacquiao, that guy's a legend. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I have noticed that body punching is a big part of your game. Going to the body, then going to the head. And I have seen you even go to the head, then go to the body. Finishing off combinations to the body. So where does that come from? Is it from Senior who teaching you that, or have you always been a great body puncher?
I'm definitely Senior plays a big role in that, but just me always watching like the greats like Chavez and all these great Mexican fighters who let it go to the body, and then just to have Senior in my corner to really teach me how to do it. I think it's he definitely plays a big role.
Well, a few months ago, Teofimo Lopez Sr. called Benavidez Sr. in order to set up a trilogy sparring between you and his son Teofimo. What happened there? Did you guys ever spar?
No, we never sparred for the third time. I guess he texted Senior. He was calling him. He was mad, obviously, and then he said that he wanted to do it again, and that this time there would be cameras and whatnot. But of course, they didn't go through with it. His dad just likes to talk, as well as his son, Teofimo. But it's all right. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing in my division. Keep winning, keep looking spectacular, keep stopping these guys. So maybe in the future we can get a fight on with him.
For sure. So Teofimo actually reached out to you guys and challenged you guys to a sparring, then backed away. He didn't show up. So
not Teofimo. His dad. It was his dad.
Oh, his dad. Yeah. What was all that about? Why would he challenge you guys and challenge you to a sparring with his son again, and then not show up and back out? Like, what's all that about?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe I think they feel a little embarrassed, humiliated, because the fans were probably started to pick up on it that I had already stopped them. And I think they just wanted to try and get it back.
Yeah, but you obviously, like you said, you will prefer to fight Tio in the ring, in the future instead of just another sparring. But you were willing to spar him as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to spar, we can spar. But definitely, if we could fight, that would be amazing. We already got history, so why not?
For sure. Now, ever since the news broke, there's been a lot of criticism, obviously a lot of love. A lot of people were impressed, and there was a lot of people that, they brought up the code in sparring. What happens in sparring stays in sparring. But don't you think it's hypocritical because when Tio lied about knocking out Devin Haney in sparring, everybody loved it. Nobody said, what about the code? You shouldn't
Yeah.
be talking about sparring. But the
Um,
moment your story leaked, and Senior was asked the questions on your sparring with Tio, all of a sudden the sparring code is back in play. So what's your thoughts on them double standards when it comes to that
yeah,
comparison?
yeah, exactly. This time they're just on the other side of the stick, and they didn't like it. The thing with me was that after or during that sparring session, him and his dad were very disrespectful to me and my team. I see Senior as a father figure. He's like family to me. So, I definitely took that to the heart. And, his dad was just, very acting very childish. So, they asked me if it was true, and I said what happened. And yeah, I agree with you on the sparring with Devin. Why doesn't he want to talk on? He wants to talk about that, but all of a sudden he don't like to talk about sparring when it comes to me.
Yeah, and the people that bringing up the sparring codes, they sure didn't bring it up then, and that situation wasn't even true. Now, you also called out Rolly Romero to fight and replace his opponent on a 1 week notice. Rolly then called you a fake and a snake. Where the bad blood steam from for him to call you a snake and all of that.
Um, to me, it wasn't no bad blood. I was on Instagram. I was reading what he was posting that everybody was scared to fight him, but that it was the biggest payday, it was a title fight, and that he needed a replacement. So I'm looking like, damn, he's not, I'm reading it, like that, and I'm like, you know what, he's not lying. So respectfully, I put, I was available, and if somebody, if I was on in his shoes, I would be thanking the fighter. I would be thanking him, like, oh, yo, thank you for substituting this guy, or thank you for saving the show. Thank you for let's keep giving these fans great fights. But he felt offended. He got I don't know what it was. Maybe he was intimidated by it, and he just took it to a whole nother lane that it didn't have to be. He called me a fake, a snake, and he called my coach a snake. So I don't appreciate that, and now I really want to fight him.
Yeah, you called him out respectfully,
Yeah,
and
he
he
need a
took it somewhere.
replacement. He needed a replacement. I said I'm available. I was in the training camp. I could have made weight. He took it overboard. And then they asked him
Right.
about me. He don't want to talk about me. But I think it's because he knows me. He knows me and my team. He knows how hard we work, and he knows what I can do.
Yeah, and even if he felt that way about you, isn't it best to solve that issue in the ring? If he felt that way about you, accept the fight and fight you in the ring instead of rejecting the fight, then call you all
Exactly.
names.
Exactly. If I'm so easy to be like he says, just take me out with the week notice, and keep moving on. But definitely, I think he felt threatened.
Now, did that threat, does it have something to do with you sparring him? Because I think you probably did spar him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I did sparring, and so when I called him out and he didn't want to take that, um, the fans they ran with it and they loved it. Oh, Farrell, he's available, and I think they spammed him. They spammed him with tags and comments, and then he posted a video when we sparred of him. He's a dirty fighter. He threw me up in the air, and so I responded with one right back, me hitting him with the hook. And he said he claimed to stop me, but if he would have stopped me, why didn't he post that video? So he's just a talker, man, and he's gonna eat his words because he said I haven't fought nobody with a winning record, so that's what we asked for. I need a winning record guy. This guy's 17-1, and we're just slowly gonna corner him.
Right. And is it a fair statement to say you got the best in sparring is the reason why he acting the way he is?
I think I did very well. I did my thing. He did his thing, but he knows that when I sparred him, I was walking around 130, and I gave him a lot of problems. And I think he knows I'm a whole different animal. When I sparred Rolly, he's the exact same fighter, maybe even worse. he knows I've got tremendously better. You know, I'm a whole different fighter than when I sparred him. I think I sparred him when I was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, and obviously now you really want to fight him for real because of
Yeah.
the things he said about you. Who you want more? Would you say you want Rolly or Tio more?
Uh, well, you know, I like to be realistic, you know. I get a question, why don't you call out all these other champions? I would love to fight any champion. But if I'm being realistic, you know, Rolly has the interim title, you know. I think that's something I can call out for, or other than calling out a guy with 3 belts, you know, 3 world champ title belts. So I think first I get Rolly, I show you know, I make a stamp who I am, and then after that, I think I'm able to call out the rest of the fighters.
For sure. Now, what was your reaction to Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao? You know, fight being canceled like a week before the fight. You're obviously fighting on the undercard. So, what was your reaction to the bad news?
Well, man, just like everybody else, you know, I was bummed out. That would have been a great fight. But you know, it is what it is. Prayers to Errol Spence, and hopefully, you know, he has a fast recovery.
And what's your prediction? You know, if you don't mind giving a prediction on Pacquiao versus Ugas, the replacement opponent. What's your take on, and also, you know, besides your opinion, what you know, as a fighter, how does it? What adjustments do you have to make if you fight a replacement opponent? Is it a big deal because of the game plan and what you've been working on? What's your take on that last minute replacement?
Um, it just depends, you know, what kind of replacement it is. And my predictions for this fight, I'm gonna go towards Manny Pacquiao. You know, I think going into the Errol Spence fight, he knew Errol Spence was gonna be a tough fight. So I think he was having a great training camp. He was training extremely hard. And don't get me wrong, Ugas is a good fighter as well, but I think he should take care of that.
And also, what was your reaction to David Benavidez, you know, catching COVID the day after Errol Spence news came out, you know, that he received an eye injury?
Yeah,
Is David feeling better now?
yeah. I was actually shocked. Like we couldn't believe it, but I think he hadn't got COVID yet. So you know, he woke up. He wasn't feeling well, or he went to 24-hour fitness. When he came back, you know, he went to his room, but he woke up. He wasn't feeling well. So then I think he had like a pink eye too, and so senior took him straight to the doctors, and we left. We're currently right now at a hotel. We're gonna be in this hotel till I leave, you know, just to make sure we're good. And yeah, he woke up today feeling better, you know. So you know, hopefully he has a fast recovery and they can postpone this fight as soon as possible.
That's for sure. We pray that he have a speedy recovery. And does that you still training though, right? Because you still have a couple days training.
Yeah. We're here in the hotel. We got a hotel close by the gym we're training at. We're just, you know, in and out quick. You know, we closed out the gym. It has 2 rings, thank God, and the one in the back has doors, so we just close that and we get our private training in, and we ride out.
That's what's up. And obviously, you was in the same camp. I noticed that you were in the same camp as Manny Pacquiao. So you know, you obviously seen him train and spar, but did you get a chance to spar Pacquiao or anything of
No,
that sort?
yeah. I seen him there a few times. On my way in or on my way out. I was getting some great work with Victor Ortiz. You know, I do want to give him a big shout out. You know, he's a great person. We're getting some great work in. And what was the question again at the end?
Oh, did you get a chance to spar
Oh
him?
no. Unfortunately, I didn't. You know, they already had their sparring is all figured out. We got there a little late, but you know, Victor was there, and we've been getting some great work with him.
Yeah, how is Pacquiao looking? What is it like to be in the same camp, or you know, training next to him, or seeing him train? You know, does that give you the extra motivation? You know,
No, no, I wasn't in the camp with him. You know, I would get my sparrings in, and I would leave. There was once or twice that I saw him, you know, like pulling up in the gym, and I was already on my way out. You know, they
Yeah.
have a very private gym and a nice private system in there. So
Yeah, that's what's up. Now, last thing, is I'm gonna throw names at you, and I want you to tell me the first thing that come up to your mind. All right. So, Rolly Romero,
duck,
Teofimo Lopez,
mm, soft,
Javante Tank Davis,
tank, you tank,
Devin Haney,
slick,
Jojo Diaz.
solid.
What is your dream fights in the future? You're obviously in a very packed division. I mean, the sky's the limit. But what is the dream fights that you would like to have down the road?
All those fights. Teofimo, Rolly, Devin, all those guys, all those great fighters. You know, I know it's gonna be very hard to get to everybody because we're on different companies, but the fights that I can make, I will do my best on my side to make.
For sure. Pleasure talking with you, El Rayo. Good luck on August 21st. Pleasure talking with you again. And is Senior going to jump in, or is he going to?
Yeah. He's gonna jump in, and I just want to
Okay.
say, I want to say thank you for having me on and all the support you've been giving me, since day one, man. After we did that interview, a lot of people have been showing me a lot of love. So definitely, you play a big role on me being hot today. So thank you.
And I appreciate the love and support. And my pleasure. It's always, like I said, this is your home. Split decision every single time, man. And but is anything you want to say to the fans? Your Instagram, where they could follow you at?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Royal Boxing. I'll be fighting August 21st. I'll be making my introduction to the world, and thank you guys to everyone who's been supporting me, I won't let you guys down.
All right, for sure, man. And yeah, so we
And
wait on Senior.
yeah,
Say
our
what?
senior, come, senior, jump in.
I got you. For
All right,
sure.
thank you.
Thank you. So that's El Rayo. He will be fighting on August 21st. So make sure you guys tune in on pay-per-view. He will be fighting on the undercards of Pacquiao versus Ugas. So make sure you guys tune in.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, Benavidez Senior?
I'm doing
Pleasure
good,
having
man. Thank you so much for inviting us.
you. Yes, sir. Now, first thing first, how is David Benavidez doing? Obviously, he caught the COVID. So is he okay? Is he doing well right now?
Yeah, thank God, everything's going well. He's doing real good. He's not sleeping anymore. He's walking, and he's in quarantine right now. I'm not with him now, but I just talked to him like about half an hour ago. Just to make sure he's okay. If he needs anything, I'm here with Jose Valenzuela at a hotel. We were all together: Jose Benavidez Jr., Jose Valenzuela, and David Benavidez, and Emiliano Moreno. I have four guys in camp, but right now it's me, Jose Valenzuela, and Jose Benavidez Jr.
Now, well, obviously, David Benavidez, he was fighting on August 28th, if I'm not mistaken, in his hometown. So the fight have yet not been, it haven't been rescheduled yet. But when it does, will it still be in the same place? Do you know?
Yes, we're trying to do our best to make it happen at the end of October, somewhere around there. They're working on it right now. I have no news for you guys right now at this moment. They're working on it. We want to make it in Phoenix, Arizona. The tickets were almost sold out. Everybody was excited, and we were excited to come back. Unfortunately, it cannot happen, but the plan is to come back and keep with the same plan, fighting in Arizona.
Now, reading David Benavidez' post on Instagram, it sounds like COVID hit him a little hard. Obviously, COVID affect people differently. So when do you expect him to resume training? Are you going to give him the proper time to basically like maybe a month or so for him to get better? What
Yeah,
would you
no,
say?
he's good. Like I said, he's good right now. To be honest, he's a warrior. He wanted to go back. He wanted to start running Friday, but unfortunately, we got to follow the orders of the doctor right now. He's good, like I said. Thank God, he's ready to start training, but we're not going to do that because he has to rest, and for 14 days there he can't do anything. So, but he's ready. He's ready to go. But like I said, the doctor said he can't do anything for 14 days, and we'll see. We'll follow the doctor's orders, and after that, we'll go back in camp and continue training.
Yeah, well, I did have a lot of David Benavidez questions for you, but I'm gonna put them to the side and interview you another time because, obviously until he gets better. But I do have some El Rayo questions that I want to get your take on. Obviously, there's been a lot of talks on Teofimo Lopez Sr. giving you a call, challenging El Rayo to sparring again. What was your take on that for him to call you in order to get his lick back and not following up?
Man, I don't know what's going on with their team and all that, man. We work hard. We work to fight anybody, and we're just here to prove ourselves. And whoever has a belt or doesn't have a belt that wants to fight, we are ready to make that step to fight anybody. Um, I don't know what's going on with them. Like I said, everybody knows what happened, and this guy is still trying to make a big deal. He tried to call me and said that he wanted to do a sparring and record it, and I said, let's do it. That's a good idea, and I never heard back from him. I told him, if you're a man of your word, we're going to continue and make this happen, and I never heard back from him.
And when it comes to what's his name, Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero had words to say about you that weren't nice. He calls you some type of names. I think he called you a snake or something like that. And what's your response to him? Because you have your fighter back, El Rayo, and El Rayo wanted to fight Rolly to replace his opponent that pulled out. So what was your take on him taking it somewhere that it wasn't supposed to go?
I mean, I gotta say, Rolly's a good fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter. He's he's a mean fighter. His dad is a great person. I had the opportunity to actually work with Rolly. One of his fights also, I was able to do his hand wraps and all that. Um, but at the end of the day, man, we are friends. We were friends, but we're not family or nothing like that. Uh, but if he has something, that uh, that is valuable to a lot of fighters, and fighters have to fight him for that. Rayo said he wanted to fight him, and I'm gonna back him up 100%. I believe on Rayo's abilities, and if he wants to fight anybody, I'm gonna definitely have his back. Rolly was complaining that nobody wanted to fight him, that he was offering people fights and they didn't want to take them. And Rayo, that's his job to fight. And he's not scared of nobody. So he says, hey, if you need a replacement, I'm here. And he got mad because of that. I don't understand why. He said that I was a snake, that Rayo was a snake. At the end of the day, this is a business. And, I mean, we're going to have to fight one day if we're in the same weight. So at the end of the day, I'm happy because if he's getting mad, it's because he's running around, doesn't want to fight Rayo. If he thought that Rayo was that easy, I think he would have take that fight right away.
Yeah, and Mike Tyson obviously is famously known for saying, if you my friend, I want you to help me eat, and so
Exactly.
why not make the fight happen as friends? You don't got to
Exactly.
be.
If it was the other way around, if Rayo had a belt or he was ranked a little bit higher, and Rolly had to fight him in order to get in the rankings and get bigger, it would be an honor for us to give him an opportunity. It would be an honor because it's somebody that we know, and at the end of the day, win the best. And here, that's what we're here for. Fighters are here to fight anybody, any nationality, anybody that's willing to fight you, and it will be an honor for me to fight him. He's a good fighter. He's a very strong fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter. But those are the fights that we want to take in order to get to the bigger fights.
And obviously, you train Benavidez Jr. and David, and recently you met Mike Tyson. You know, your son David Benavidez. You know, he sat down with Mike. So, what was that? You know, feeling for you as a father, seeing your kids or your kid, you know, talk to the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson. What was that whole experience like meeting Mike Tyson and meeting Mike Tyson in person?
To be honest with you, man, this is it was a great feeling. A fighter that you only see on TV, and now he's with David. It was a for us, it was a dream come true. Meet one of our favorite fighters uh, to this date, and somebody that made so much for the sport of boxing, a legend. It was an honor, and it was a happy day for us to shake his hand and give some advice to David. I mean, I was like on a dream, man, on a dream that I never thought it would happen. But thanks to David, it made it happen because of what he has accomplished. And it was a great feeling. And I'm not never going to forget this moment. These are the special moments that you never forget.
I'm not sure if you heard Mike Tyson say on multiple podcasts of his that David Benavidez is also one of his favorite fighters. What's your reaction to that? That Mike Tyson, somebody you look up to, is one of his favorite fighters is your son.
Yeah, I heard a lot of times where he said that. Man, for him to say something like that, to me, that hard work, the dedication, the sacrifices that we've been through, making you feel a little good. But at the end of the day, we haven't done anything. We're barely touching surface. But it's a great feeling, man. Somebody like that knows that name, Benavidez and David Benavidez. The Benavidez family, man. I think I'm very proud of what we have done through all these years, through all the struggles. And like I said, we haven't done anything yet, but yet our name has been mentioned. It's a great feeling, brother.
Yes, sir. And like I told you, I have a lot of David Benavidez questions, but I'm gonna wait till he gets better. However, I have one last question from a fan. He asked, "Was David Benavidez vaccinated?"
No, he was not vaccinated. We were gonna get vaccinated actually after the fight. We were about to get vaccinated, but then a lot of people said that, and we even talked to some doctors. They said that you get sick for sometimes for a week. It all depends on the bodies. So we didn't even want to take that risk until after the fight. Everything was planned after the fight. Everybody was gonna get vaccinated, the whole team, and everybody, because at the end of the day, man. Uh, Everybody has to do it. I think uh, everything's just getting pushed more that everybody has to do it. So if everybody has to do it, I agree with it, and we were 100% ready to do that after the fight. And I think it's a great thing for everybody to do it, and don't risk to get sick or put your family in danger.
For sure. And, I pray that David Benavidez will have a speedy recovery. Pleasure having you on the show again, Senior. And any last words for the fans?
I just want to thank everybody for the good comments that they have been sending to us, man. That's another great feeling, knowing that all these fans are behind you, and they're wishing for nothing but prayers and this and good comments, man. Thank you so much to everybody. David's doing good. He's walking and doing his things. He's not 100%, but he is good, out of danger, and he just has to rest and stay home in quarantine in order not to infect other people. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Senior. And we be in touch.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. And that was El Rayo and Senior, the trainer and a father figure to El Rayo. So, like I said before, make sure you guys tune in, not this Saturday night, but next Saturday night. El Rayo will be fighting on the undercard on Pacquiao versus Ugas. He's one of the hottest prospects. I think he's the hottest prospect in boxing right now. So make sure you guys stay tuned and keep up with him. Follow him on Instagram as well. With that being said, I'm gonna also have Bill Haney. You know, he should join us later on the show to update us on the Rolly fight on his end, and maybe future fights for his son if it's not Rolly, because it sounds like Rolly, you know, if it moves like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, then guess what? It is a duck. So that's the route that Rolly is heading. Therefore, I will keep you guys upgraded on that. Make sure you guys call in as well and place your prediction on the fights this weekend between Virgil Ortiz and Mean Machine. Also, we have Rugendia versus Cusmero. I think that's his name is. Oh, we got Bill Haney.
Hold up, bro. Good job.
Hey, Bill, let's see some highlights.
What's up, bro?
Hey, Bill, can we see some highlights? What's going on?
Hold on.
We trying to see the champ work.
Hold on, keep cooking.
For sure. Well, that's Bill Haney right now. Devin Haney is at the gym working for the next victim. That they're gonna present to him. So we'll see if it's Rolly or not. But that being said, for the moment in time, we waiting on Bill. By the way, guys, you could go ahead and place your call to hold your position in the press conference. I'm supposed to have a one-on-one debate with somebody that I scheduled a debate with. So, like I said, if you want to debate me, hit me up on Instagram. But I'm supposed to have a one-on-one debate with somebody that I scheduled a debate with. So that's the person who I'm expecting to talk to first. But we shall see.
Yo.
What's going on, Bill?
What's up, bro?
Well, we have some, a couple questions for you. No, you got, you're busy training, Devin, but
See Dev over there?
we see the champ working. Always working. While they sleep, we work.
Yes, sir.
Well, Bill, let's get straight to it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Well, Rolly Romero stated on IG that he waiting on Devin Haney to sign the contract. So, have you received the contract?
I haven't received nothing. I called over to his team to see was I supposed to be expecting something, and they didn't know anything about any contract being sent over on the behalf of Rolly Romero. I talked to his manager, and I talked to Mayweather Promotions, and no one has sent out a contract to Devin to look over or anything like that. So that's completely false.
Wow. So you actually reached out to both, to TMT, and you heard otherwise that they have not sent anything yet.
Right.
So what's your take on, Rolly Romero trolling Devin Haney on IG by claiming that he his daddy and saying silly stuff like that instead of accepting to fight?
What's that's just what it is. It's silliness. I mean, I don't think he can top the shit that he's already said before to make us want to fight, anymore. So right now, I think it's just rhetoric, and yeah, I don't even think that he's asked his team for the fight, let alone sent over anything for us to review or to sign.
I don't know if you've seen this. Rolly announced on IG the other day that he will be retiring. You know, he announced that he's going to be retiring from the sport of boxing. Is he bringing up retirement the moment, you know, he heard that Devin Haney's trying to fight him? Or like, what's going on, Bill?
Hey, man, I don't know. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a great time to be in the Devin Haney business. You know, he doesn't duck any fades. You know, Rolly had a lot of shit to say. That's why we even talked about him. So, you know, I still stand at the same position in the place is that if he doesn't want to actually fight, then he should, you know, he should shut up.
So yeah, I mean, obviously he did, you know, talk a lot of trash. But what's your reaction to him claiming that he's gonna retire? I mean, take on that.
No, I don't have any comment about him talking about retirement. I just know what he had said as of recently. You know what I mean? What he had just said that caught our attention. So the retirement shit, that's new to me.
He also posted him being 180 pounds. We know Ryan received anxiety when he was Devin Haney mandatory. So now what's up with Rolly being 180 pounds? You know, even though he's supposed to be obviously negotiating a fight with your son.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just like I said, you know, Rolly is still missing. You know, he's saying, you know, the daughter shit and daddy and all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and Devin, we don't pay attention to that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We thought that he really wanted to fight. So Dev reached out to Floyd to make the fight happen.
Sure. Now, with that being said, that's all I needed you for, Bill. You know, just the updates on Rolly because, you know, obviously he's still talking a whole lot. He just not saying that he want to fight. So, you know, any last comments on that and any thoughts or anything you want to say to the fans?
No, actually, you know, I'm always thankful, you know what I mean, for you and for everybody in the chat and, you know, everyone out in the, you know, the YouTube boxing community, man, that's constantly trying to, you know, support their best fighters and their favorite fighters. You know, we do it. We do it for you guys, man. We do it for the diehards, man. The fans that have been supporting Devin from the beginning and watch his evolution from being a young fighter and amateurs, always showing everything, showing how hard he's working to becoming a world champion and the youngest promoter in boxing.
Sure, man, and you know, pleasure having you on Split Decision like always, and I'll talk to you next time when the news develop on Rolly and Devin.
Yeah, let me know if you find Rolly and he's talking like he got some sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, if he keeps, you know, if that's the Rolly that we've been looking for, then check him into what's that spot? What's that spot up there? Napa. It's in California. It's Napa. Ain't that where the J-Cats go to? J-Cats go to Napa, right? Yeah, Napa. You know, so that guy needs to go to Napa. And with a real Rolly, the Rolly that was asking for the fight, will he come out? You know what I mean? Because they got a fake Rolly on the loose that needs to be put in Napa. We need to see the real Rolly Romero. Where is he at? The guy that was looking for a fight, not the guy that wants to, you know, I don't know what that shit is called. You know what I'm saying?
Troll. You know,
troll. Okay, yeah. Because we got a troll. A troll has came out that looks like Rolly Romero doing fake T-shirts and shit. With a real Rolly Romero, the one that was talking shit, that wanted to fight, and that squeaky ass voice. He said Devin should fight him. He said he was looking to fight, and they're looking to fight next. So that's the guy we're looking for, and we ain't found him. We ain't seen him. Have you seen him, bro?
I would assume Devin would have found him. I know Devin was out there looking for him. So, you know, if the real Rolly, the real Rolly, we need you to stand up. We need the real Rolly to stand up because it's a clone copy.
It's a clone copy that needs to be picked up by the people and taken to the nearest mental hospital. All right.
Man, we hope it happens, Bill. We hope you answer the call, and I'll stay in touch with you.
All right. Peace, King.
So, peace. Um, so to all the people that's tuning in, go ahead and call in to host your position on the press conference. Um, I will be back in approximately 10 minutes to pick up the calls. So go ahead and call in to place your position and give your prediction or ask any question, including debate. So make sure you guys, like I said, call in to the press conference and stay tuned in. I will be back in 10 minutes. How y'all doing, ladies and gents? So go ahead and call in. Like I said, I had a debate today with, a debate set with somebody named nickname Boo on Instagram. See, I should have never took a dude like this seriously because, hold on. As you see, his name is. They say I hit hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? This man, he called me out on Instagram. I scheduled a debate with him because I only could debate with one person at a time. If I'm gonna schedule a debate, I have to schedule it with one person at a time. So I scheduled a debate with this man, and he's a no-show. Let me show you guys. 661 area code. Where you at? You're not representing your city. How you supposed to? How you schedule a date and back out on some Rolly T.O. Ryan Garcia shit? You can't do that on split decision. You don't get no props for that. So don't troll me. You know, just to show you guys, I'm calling him right now as we speak. He's a no-show. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up whoever is available at the moment in time because I hit hard as fuck. On Instagram, this person, whoever he is, obviously it looked like a spam account anyway. He done backed out of the debate. So, like I said, I'm gonna just go ahead and pick up the phone lines on whoever is available. One thing I do not respect is a person that's going to waste my time. You know, because I got a lot of callers, and some people hit me up on it on Instagram, and every time I schedule a debate with somebody, they end up being a no-show. So I don't know. I might stop doing that. But of course, all these haters, they continue to call me out on Instagram. As soon as I schedule something with them, they a no-show. But let me go ahead and pick up a phone call first, and then we talk a little bit, or I'm gonna chat it up with them. How you doing, Aki? Who this is, and where you calling from?
Yo, what's good, man? It's Sharp in the chat. I'm calling from Jersey.
Sharp and
Hello?
yeah. How you doing, Aki? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You say you from New Jersey,
All right,
so
cool.
this is not the person I scheduled a debate with, right? Just to make sure.
Nah, I never hit you up on Instagram, man.
Okay, I
I'm
got
just
you.
calling and chop it up.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. And now, before I do that, I do want to get a couple things off my chest from the Rolly situation, because you don't call out somebody the way he did. You know, call him the biggest B word in the world, and say the things the things he said about Devin. And then as soon as Devin hit up Floyd, his whole demeanor changed. His whole energy changed. Just yesterday, he was calling Devin Haney a phony, a fake, a punk, a B word. Man, you name it. The moment Devin Haney pulled his plug, the moment Devin Haney called his bluff, you see him backpedaling. Now he's missing. Now, we're not saying he's missing because he's not on social media anymore. No, that's not what we're saying. We say he's missing because he's saying anything and everything but let's fight. As soon as Devin Haney signed to fight somebody, everybody opened their mouth. Everybody got something to say. But when he's available and looking for an opponent, for a victim, you see everybody quiet. You don't hear Rolly, the loudest one in the room, the loudest mouth in the room. You hear him silent as a church mouse. Like I said, man, Rolly remind me of a dog that continues to bark, but he won't bite. He won't do no biting. As soon as the cage open, he stays in the cage. He won't even come out of the cage. When the cage is closed, he stay barking. And as soon as the cage open, he won't even leave the cage. But when the cage is closed, he barks like he's finna do something. And that's exactly what Rolly does. He barks. When Devin Haney gave Floyd Mayweather the key to open the cage, Rolly stayed in the cage. He won't come out of the cage. This man is missing right now. So, like I said, he say everything and anything but let's fight. Devin Haney is waiting on Rolly to accept the fight, and he will say anything and lie. He even lied. That's what shocks me is when he says, I'm waiting on Devin Haney to sign the contract. I automatically knew it was some BS before I even hit up Bill Haney, as you guys seen, because if you know in the sport of boxing, you don't just send the contract. You negotiate the terms back and forth. Once the terms are agreed with, then you write a contract and you send the contract. So that's the new way of ducking, is send the contract. You heard Keith Thurman say that about Errol Spence. He said, I never ducked Errol Spence. I never seen a contract. Yeah, because you told Al Heyman you don't want the fight from day one. So why will Al Heyman present a contract to you if you already said no to the fight? You're not ready. He said on air. So that's the new way of ducking. Oh, send me a contract. Then you tell your team, yeah, when Devin Haney hits you up, don't acknowledge him. Say we weighing out our options. Say we looking at other fights. That's what Jojo Diaz did. Jojo Diaz tells Devin Haney on Twitter, let's fight on November. They agreed on a date. And when Devin Haney follows up on that, Bill Haney contacted Joe Diaz team 3 times on 3 different occasions. They all tell him, we're not ready. We still weighing out our options. We're still looking at different other options for Jojo. But Jojo told Bill on live that the only fight he wants and the only person he's going to fight next is Devin Haney. So that's what I'm saying. The new trend in boxing is capping. It's a capdemic in the sport of boxing today. We have a pandemic, capdemic, duckdemic, you name it. I mean, we've seen it with Gary Russell. When Devin Haney sent him a term sheet with every single request he demanded, guess what Gary Russell said? I'm gonna send you my own term sheet. Guess what? He haven't sent that term sheet to this day. That term sheet haven't arrived. You heard Teofimo Lopez say the same thing. I'm gonna send composers a contract. I'm gonna send Devin Haney a contract, and whoever get back with me first and sign it, then that's who I'm gonna be fighting. Guess what? He never sends a contract. Even Bob Arum laughed at Tio Cap and the Lion. Let me play the clip. So for the people that missed that.
Here, the end of April, beginning of May is my fight day. Well, my fight month. Guess who? We're in the works of it. We're gonna throw contracts at Devin. We're gonna throw contracts at Kambosos. Whatever we get back with, as long as we find a medium, we all agree on the terms, then that's your fight. They're all gonna know. Why you think Devin said April? Everything's already falling into place, ladies and gents. Y'all just gotta wait. Y'all so impatient. It's gonna come. All of it's gonna come. Y'all just gotta be patient with it. These things don't come overnight.
So what are we talking about? What are we doing? You see Tio lies in public. You see Gary Russell don't follow up in public, and now you see Jojo do the same thing. And guess what? Now Rolly picked up on the trend. So this is what's ruining the sport of boxing, is when you see Ryan Garcia tell Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez, hold me back, and call out tank, while he's telling his team to hold him back. Then pulls anxiety when he becomes Devin Haney mandatory. You see, all these fighters from champions to mandatories of Devin Haney, they pull the same plug. So this is what's really ruining the reputation of the sport of boxing and putting a black eye on the sport as a whole, is all this trolling, all this talking and no action. The fact that we're not getting the fights that we're supposed to is the reason why we end up with Jake Paul versus Woodley. And that's the biggest fight of the year by far. Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. That ended up being the biggest fight of the year. That's why YouTubers are taking over, because the real fighters won't fight each other. Man, I'm telling you guys, Jake Paul got more cojones than Rolly, because Jake Paul would troll Conor McGregor, but guess what? He actually sent Conor McGregor a $50 million contract to sign. He sent Conor McGregor $50 million offer to fight. Meanwhile, Rolly, he will call out Devin, call him the biggest B word in the world. And as soon as Devin Haney hit up his team, Floyd Mayweather, and gets his approval, guess what Rolly says? Devin Haney is irrelevant. He's on the bottom of the food chain. When Devin Haney made 24 times what Rolly made his last fight, Devin Haney made 3 million plus. Meanwhile, Rolly made 125,000. Devin Haney a champion, Rolly is not. Devin Haney a main event fighter, Rolly is not. So that's what's crazy about the sport of boxing is when we have challengers avoiding the biggest opportunity of their career. It's mind-blowing, to say the least. And shout out to OG Swag. Man, my AKHi always blessing me every single time. The OG in the game, the OG in the chat. A1, day one, shout out to OG, blessing me, like I said, every single time, man. I really appreciate you. So, yeah, so like I said, that's what's wrong in the sport of boxing. What's your take on that? You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your take on all of that?
I think
like Rolly. No. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question proper. What's your take on Rolly calling out Devin Haney to fight? As soon as Devin Haney take him up on his offer, reach out to Floyd. Now Rolly, the only thing he's saying on his Instagram is Devin Haney is I don't know what he's trying to say. I'm his father, this and that and the third, but he won't say let's fight. He won't accept the fight. He won't accept the fight. What's up with that? Is that what the state of boxing we are in?
I think Rolly is I think it was on one of your last, like one of your first interviews with Haney, you brought up Rolly, and he was like clowning. You know, before this point, Haney was kind of like just brushing Rolly off. So I don't think Rolly really expected him to call his bluff like that. And then at the same time, I don't think Rolly he's kind of drunk off his victory. He's kind of like, you know, 181 pounds. The dude is, you know, way out of shape. It doesn't seem like he's very serious about boxing in general. It seems like he just made his money and you know.
Well, he haven't made
chilling
money
for next year or whenever.
Yeah, well, he haven't made money yet.
Well, whatever money he's made.
Yeah, right. Because the real money is fighting Devin.
100K or something?
Yeah, 125 after taxes. I mean, what is he going to walk away with? 75,000, 60,000. I mean, he haven't really made that type of money to set his family for life, right? So the Devin Haney fight is a money fight where he's standing to make 15 times his last payday. He's going to make 1.5 million, around that number, right? He's also going to be fighting for a world title. So it's a win-win situation where he gets to set his family for life, and then he could gain 50 pounds and head to depression if he wants to, because that's what he looked like he's doing. I mean, what is he doing at 180 pounds, 181, calling out Gervonta and Devin Haney, but he won't fight either one. He won't fight Devin Haney, backpedaling on everything he said. And this is what ruins the sport of boxing. See, people get mad at me for reporting the truth. They get mad at me for telling the obvious and stating things how it's supposed to be said without sugarcoating it. But if this trend continue, the capdemic in the sport of boxing, if this trend continue of Ryan just trolling Tank, saying he want to fight, but pulls the plug the moment they start negotiating, the same thing Tio and Rolly is doing, guess what's going to end up happening? All the fighters that like the kids that's fighting, that's training in the amateurs, the moment they see their favorite fighters trolling, and is accepted, it's okay to troll, like what Ryan is doing. Like now it's becoming a trend. Guess what's going to end up happening in the future? It's only going to get worse from here. More fighters going to end up trolling and trolling and trolling and trolling, and we're going to end up with seeing no fights, seeing, you know, top of odds 50-1 type of odds, not seeing 50-50 fights that the public want to see. That's why the UFC is growing and boxing is dying, because UFC, the best must fight the best every single time. When we do that and reporters do what they're supposed to do, such as new media, guess what they say to us? Oh, why you hating? Why you want to see the best versus the best? I want to see my favorite fighter cherry pick. Why you want to see my favorite fighter lose? I was like, lose? That's where their mind is at. Is they a fan of a fighter, not the fan of a sport. They don't want to see who the best in the world. No, they want to their fighter they rooting for stay protected and not lose his record. But again, you might want to go watch a different sport, buddy, because this is the sport of where we want to see the best versus the best, and the best must fight the best, or the best must compete with the best, like every single sport, from UFC, basketball, soccer, football. I mean, it's not like we asking for something new or something outside of the box that have never been done before. No, that's why the Olympics is such a huge accomplishment. The gold medal winner is such a huge accomplishment. That's why the United States, we haven't had a gold medal winner for 17 years. Even though you could say, yeah, America, we fighters have more of an American style, a pro style. But at the end of the day, it's such a huge accomplishment to win the gold medal, because why? The best fight the best. It ain't no Canelo Alvarez over there where they could be like, oh, no, I don't want to fight him. Oh, no, I want to fight him, the guy who lost. No. You must fight the winner in order to move up to the second position or the next position. So that's why the Olympics is such a huge accomplishment.
Well, you know what's interesting? I mean, Haney should. I mean, the Haney should try to contact Floyd about Tank. I think, because I think I heard something about, I don't know if it was like before or after Ryan tried to like challenge Tank or whatever, but then Floyd said something like, fight Rolly and then fight Tank, but if you apply that same logic to Devin's situation, and coupled with the fact that Tank is available, I mean, what do you think about that fight?
Yeah, but he ain't available for Devin though. He available, but he ain't available for Devin because Floyd already made it clear that you see how Floyd green lighted Rolly, but he didn't green light Tank. He already told the public no to that.
In-house,
it ain't about in-house. That's what all the networks do. I mean, Top Rank has been doing that from day one. All in-house fights. PBC been doing that. The Zone is a little bit more lenient, but it's not really about in-house. It's really about risk reward. See, Tank will fight Ryan Garcia, no problem. You see, that's not in-house fight. Mm-hmm. That's not an in-house fight. And I know Tank will fight Teofimo Lopez in a heartbeat, and I know that. But when it comes to Devin, it's a different story. When it comes to other fights that's risky like that, like Shakur, that's a different story, because again, it's can you win? That's the ultimate, motive in making a fight. If you don't feel like the fighter you have is gonna win, you obviously not gonna put him in the ring with that fighter that you feel like is gonna beat him. So I just, at the end of the day,
that's crazy to me though. Like,
yeah, I mean, also Floyd have a good relationship with Devin and Gervonta. Obviously, Gervonta his fighter, and Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, Devin Haney's like the second coming of Floyd, and it's and he likes Devin personally, stuff like that. So that also comes into play. I mean, maybe Floyd ain't gonna make that fight until it's like it's for all Marvel. It's like Devin already did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, maybe down the line.
Yeah, he already fought Ryan, T.O., and Tank did the same. Then they're gonna meet each other. I feel like that's the only way Floyd Mayweather will make the fight, in my opinion, because of his relationship with both. But I know Devin have tried to make the fight on more than one occasion. That's why they kept bringing up the sparring. I don't know if you noticed, they continue to bring up the sparring because they want to entice Gervonta Tank Davis into fighting them. But I think Floyd Mayweather got his foot down, to not make that fight at all, regardless of what the cost. But hey, let me ask you this, because this is what's mind blowing. Let me show you this on the screen. So the judge who won the best judge of the year in 2019, I believe, right, by the WBA. Now, how shocking is it that she put out? She got busted tweeting racial tweets. She got busted with racial tweets and corrupted scorecards, right? As you guys see on the screen, she dissed the Black Lives Matter movement, and she's the person who actually was the co-founder of the movement. Martinez, the judge, Gloria Martinez, She said, "Kill her." That's shocking. I mean, just to see that tweet is extremely shocking to see, right? She also said she called,
Great.
Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I'm sorry, Barack Obama wife. She called her a monkey, as you guys see on the screen. She dissed LeBron James for backing up his people, like
That,
every single human
she's part of
does.
the WB. She's part of the WBC or
The
the WBA.
WBA. I mean, she
WBA.
she a
Okay.
judge in general, right? A judge will
Yeah.
judge any fight. It don't matter if it's the WBC, the WBA.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but she won the. I think she was. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, she won the judge of the year in 2019.
Do all the sanctioning bodies have to? Do all the sanctioning bodies have to agree on like the judge selection, or is that just a? I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but the bigger picture here is if she scored the fight between hold on, let me see. Give me a second. The fight between Gabrielle and Fox, if she scored that fight, I don't know, 117, 111 or something crazy like that. And remember,
That was crazy.
that fight wasn't even close. Fox dominated, Gabrielle. He dominated him. He dropped him. So it was a dominant performance. And for a judge to have it 117, 111 the other way, it's mind blowing, right? So you could just imagine how many corrupted scorecards she already scored in the past. And we already know that's common in the sport of boxing. I mean, I recall, of course, just Canelo fights that come to mind, the Lara Gennady Golovkin fight and the Floyd Mayweather fight, Trout fight included, all of his fights. There's always one judge that gives Canelo every single round. Like, I kid you not. If you go back to the Lara fight, there's one judge that gave him every single round. Against Trout, the same way. Against Gennady Golovkin, that was the same case. And even against Floyd Mayweather, where he lost every single round, he had a draw on one of the scorecards. So the point I'm trying to make, it's common in the sport of boxing to see scorecards that's corrupted, right? But to this extent where we see a judge that's racially biased, and we see why she scored the fight for Gabrielle over Fox, because she racially biased. And for the WBA not to do their job by suspending her, by firing her and putting a fine on her, like they got to fine her for the criminal act she committed, which is rob somebody of his blood, sweat, and tears. That's what fighters do, right? And let me just finish this real quick. She got suspended. She didn't get fired. She got suspended. That's a slap to the face of all the boxing fans, because how she gets suspended? Why are you suspending her? Are you telling us she's gonna come back to judging fights, even though you know she racially biased? You know they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This is a judge that's, I don't know how old, 60, 70 years old. You can't change her mindset not to be racial or racially biased. You can't. What's in here is already printed and stamped in her heart. You can't change that about a person that's 70 years old. You're talking about teaching an old dog new tricks. You think you're gonna change the mindset of an old dog that's finna die, that has a mindset of being the alpha? You think you're gonna turn him to a beta? Hell no. that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So why are they suspending her instead of firing her completely and fining her for what she did? What's your take on that?
Well, when I heard about that, the fact she's gonna be suspended, I just thought about. I saw a little bit about it earlier today. A little bit of that interview on the Boxing Voice with Lou DiBella. I think was he a promoter for? He's a boxing promoter. Who's he promote for? I'm not.
These promoters.
He's promoted one of the fighters.
I mean, whoever his fighters are, he promotes.
He's just a random promoter.
Yeah, but he promotes.
But he basically said like.
Yeah, my bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Ruben, he actually promotes for PBC, but I seen him promote fights for DAZN. He just promote his fighters wherever they fight.
Right, and I mean, it was kind of shocking. His interview was kind of shocking because of the way that he was just commenting on the situation, saying that her decision had nothing to do with race or anything like that. when and that was after her, she, and that was kind of crazy to me. That
So he
a big
said,
photo like him wouldn't acknowledge it.
so you saying, just to make that clear, first of all, shout out to OG Swag. Like I said, I appreciate the love and support, man. Call in if you can. And yeah, the Pernell Whitaker versus Chavez, that was another big robbery. But I want to get that. I want to make sure I heard what you said clearly. Now you said that her being that Lou DiBella said that her being racially biased had nothing to do with the way she scored the score of the fight.
Yeah, that's what he said on the boxing board.
So what was his reasoning behind that? Well, what was his how did he justify that?
For reasons that he said that this is for reasons that she did it. He knew about these reasons, and these are reasons that he cannot disclose. But the reason was not because he was racially biased, and it was all a setup. That's what he's claiming.
Oh, so he claiming that it was a setup from the jump, but
right from the jump.
Yeah, now we're gonna get to that because there was of course, Glovegate controversy as well. But
that's another thing I thought about.
Yeah, but first of all, because that's it definitely had something to do with her being racially biased. I mean, that's as clear as day. I mean, you can't. Yeah, you can't. And yeah. I usually agree with Lou DiBella, but yeah, that's a comment out of place because when you hear her call, black people monkeys. I mean, Obama wife, to be specific. She wanted to kill.
And it just seemed like a cover up.
Yeah, she says kill. Whatchamacallit, the Black Life Matter, co-founder. She said kill her, put her in jail, and she had so many outrageous comments. She had to delete her Twitter because ain't no telling what kind of bodies is buried under the closet, in the closet. So that definitely had something to do with her being racially biased. Because if she already hating a particular group, and if she hate the fighters on the coincidental list and they in a fight, guess what? If there's a close round, if there's a round she could give to Gabrielle, she gonna give it to Gabrielle. Because she racially biased. Duh. That's always that racially biased influence is gonna come into play automatically. Especially let alone rounds that weren't even close. So you could tell she have hatred in her heart to this particular fighter. I bet you she wouldn't have robbed Gabrielle for Fox, though. I bet you if Gabrielle won every single round, she wouldn't have gave the fight to Fox. Even if that shit was a setup. Why? Because she racially biased. It ain't about none of that. Is about her personal feelings. That's how she scored a fight. So for the WBA to suspend her, knowing that she racially biased, knowing that she's a known racist and a proven racist, we have facts to prove it. For them to suspend her and not fire her from the sport of boxing completely is a slap to the sport of boxing as a whole. Period. So something has to be done about that.
Yeah. And like the fact that that was the first thing to come out of his mouth when they asked him the question. The fact that he was so quick to defend her it just makes you think about just the why the inner working, like how do these politics work within these sanctioning bodies, and why aren't the inner workings of these sanctioning bodies, and when it comes to how they make the decisions, why aren't these policies revealed to the public? It just makes you think, and it just makes you think about how much they're able to get away with if they have sort of a cabinet of promoters possibly voting on these issues. Maybe, I don't know. It just came off that way. Like, why was he so quick to defend her? And then like, later on tonight we find out that she's she's suspended. She's not fired.
Yeah, she's suspended, and they did not overturn the decision. That's what kills me too, right? Yep. Is that they won't overturn the decision. They said they're gonna give Fox a rematch. They're gonna order a rematch. A rematch for what? We have a clear winner where a fighter got robbed. Now we have technology. We could go back and watch the fight. We you could go back and replay the fight and rescore the fight. And when you do that, you will give the fight to Fox, where he won every single round and knocked the person down. So why would you not overturn the decision? At least make it a DQ. If you're not going to give the rightful winner the decision, guess what? You can make it a DQ. Why would you order a rematch as if it's necessary? And that's what's ruining the sport of boxing. When we have a horrible decision like this, where a fighter that is poor, that came from nothing, he won the fight of his life, and they robbed him of his hard work, dedication, and then they won't even turn the decision. How is that helping the sport to grow? Now, I promise you, if they overturn the decision and award Fox as the winner, and they erase the loss, then give him the belt, guess what that's going to do? That's going to help future events. That's going to help future fighters that get robbed, because then they could go through that same process of rewatching the fight and rescoring the fight and overturning the decision, because we have the technology nowadays to do so, which that's going to be great for the sport, because that's doing the right thing, which means the corruption will slowly decrease, because then even if there's fixed fights, even if there's robberies,
right,
even if there's judges that's getting paid to score fights a certain way, guess what? They're gonna feel like it's not worth it. It's not worth it to rob a fighter. It's not worth it to pay a judge, because guess what? If you do that and the fight get overturned and get reviewed, then the decision get turned. Guess what's gonna end up happening? All the money you paid the judges, all that corruption, the fact that the judges were not honorable, all that goes to waste. All the money goes to waste. All the corruption goes to waste. So it's going to help things. It's going to help restore boxing to the right form. It's, bring justice to the sport. That's how you do it. You don't do it by, keeping the L on Fox record, not giving him the belt and ordering a rematch, and only suspending the judge that's racially biased. And that's actually a known racist, and that's a fact. So, I mean, that's just mind blowing to me. But what's your take on?
And they don't.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
and it's crazy how they don't even have a fighters union. Do they have like a fighters union like the CBA and the NBA? Where they can negotiate these types of things. It's just
no. That's
up to the promoters.
That's the problem in the sport of boxing. Is that the problem in the sport of boxing? There isn't a governing body that makes a decision, that overturns a bad decision, or that seeks out the corruption in the sport. Boxing is the wild, wild west. That's what new media been reporting every single time. I had to start AKHi investigation. Why? Because the sport of boxing won't investigate Tyson Fury, for example, who clearly cheated and committed a crime by putting Deontay Wilder's life on the line, where he clearly tampered with his glove, right? Now, all this time, you heard Teddy Atlas talk about the corruption in the sport of boxing by saying that there isn't a governing body. The fact that there's a missing governing body is the reason why there's loopholes in the system of the sport of boxing, where a lot of fighters are taking advantage of these loopholes, where it allows them to cheat. Because they found out, like, man, I could tamper with a glove. Ain't nobody looking. Man, you could easily cheat. It's multiple different ways you could cheat. You could take PEDs and then cycle off the moment VADA testing starts 2 months before the fight. Victor Conte even pointed that Victor Conte came out and pointed out that you could be on steroids for 4 months, and then you could cycle off 2 months before the fight to clear your system before getting drug tested by VADA. Because if you know when the testing date is going to start, you could actually cleanse your body before then. And you will benefit the fight of the night from taking steroids, because you already been on steroids for a couple months before the training camp even begin. That's what fighters do today. Yep. There's many fighters that's doing that today. That's why, you know what I'm saying? So the reason why Floyd, and that's why Floyd brought up the random, drug testing and the Olympic style drug testing. because there's so many loopholes in the system, and that's only when it
He
comes
was
to drug
smart with
testing.
that.
Yeah, that's only when it comes to drug testing. Remember, Floyd Mayweather busted Maidana try to tamper with his gloves. Remember that incident? You know, and they completely ignored Tyson Fury cheat. They kept saying, you heard Teddy Atlas, the man that pointed out the corruption in the sport. He pointed out that the commission are corrupted. Now he's defending the commission when Tyson Fury cheated. Now his main defense to why Tyson Fury didn't cheat is, the commission was there. Look at all these cameras, ignoring the fact that Tyson Fury cut off the camera in the dressing room, which that should require an investigation of its own. Then
it's all very, very convenient.
He completely ignored the fact that Margarito cheated in the past. Remember that incident where the commission was there, the cameras was there. He still got away with it because it's not that hard to cheat. You only need somebody slick enough that only a cheater knows how to get away with cheating. So if you got somebody that's slick enough, he could get away with cheating. So Margarito,
somebody on the inside,
or somebody in the inside, a setup, a fix, like the Fox situation. So what I'm saying is, with the Tyson Fury situation, I feel like there's a lot of more bodies buried in the closet. I'm telling you, that's a lot of corruption going on in the sport of boxing, and that situation there's a bigger picture to it. So what I'm saying is, when Tyson Fury, when new media exposed Tyson Fury of cheating, and we gathered evidence that's, we racked up evidence that's as tall as a mountain. They said that wasn't enough. We called the commission. They said they seen nothing irregular, when everything and anything in that fight was irregular. Tyson Fury glove that looked tampered with. Tyson Fury left hand not being all the way in the glove. Like everything. Even him cutting off the camera in the dressing room. They said they see nothing irregular though, right? So what I'm saying is, you see old media defend Tyson Fury blind because, like I said before, your emotion can block your vision from seeing the truth, and that's what happened to Teddy Atlas. His emotion clouded his judgment from seeing the truth, and that's why he ended up contradicting himself, using the commission to defend Tyson Fury for cheating. Now you see the the Gabriel versus Fox situation, right? We see a robbery, and we see the glove gate situation. The gloves wasn't signed or approved by the commission. Nobody signed off on Gabriel gloves. So how was he allowed to fight with them gloves that weren't approved or signed, right? How was Gabriel allowed to fight without his gloves being signed? Like, how all the gloves are signed? How was he allowed to do that?
That's insane. That's really crazy.
Where was the commission that Teddy Atlas swore up and down that they were there watching the cheating King Fury, wrap up his gloves? Where was the commission?
All I can say is these guys, they better get some good attorneys to set the terms of the contract, and make it so that you can't cheat. You know what I mean? That's really the only thing they can do. Yeah, like a black fighter to that. You know what I mean? A black professional fighter.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me show.
Yeah.
You see this, his left hand. You see his knuckles on the glove. This is Tyson Fury situation. Just to show you how crazy this is, right? And I mean, old media ignored all of these facts, including their eyes of Tyson Fury tampered glove by using the commission that never caught a single soul cheat, from Margarito to Rusto, to Roman, to Tyson Fury, to Gabriel. None of these fighters. It always took the corner, the trainer, so on and so forth. But guess what? Now Wilder proven right again. Everybody called him delusional, crazy, excuse maker. At the end of the day, getting cheated is not it up. Nobody brought up Deontay Wilder in this incident. At the end of the day, getting cheated is not making an excuse. Are you crazy? Getting cheated is a criminal act, especially putting a fighter life on the line. Even Mike Tyson said out of his own mouth, any fighter that takes steroids, that's a felony. That's a crime, because you trying to hurt somebody and take them away from their family. That's what Mike Tyson said. But obviously they feeding Mike Tyson the wrong thing. Old media tell him, Mike, yeah, Tyson Fury, yeah, he's named after you, Mike. He didn't cheat. That was excuses. They tell Mike whatever old media their narrative is. But truth be told, Tyson Fury need to be stripped of the Tyson legendary name, because he's a disgrace to that name. The man took steroids in the past. The man, whatchamacallit, the man tampered with his gloves, put Deontay Wilder life on the line. You name it. This man is a liar, a thief, you name it. So this, and come October 9th, he will be dealt with for sure. But I'm just showing you guys just the corruption in the sport of boxing. And this Fox situation really hit me by surprise. I got a video dropping on that, but the thing about it, what ended up happening is Errol Spence situation, the fight getting canceled, that really ruined my day, and I had to cover that news. But with that being said, before I let you go, just your prediction on Rigan Diaz versus any last thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, anybody's new getting into the game right now, even if especially if you're a black fighter, but any kind of fighter, I'd say, and if you're in the chat, you're trying to get into the game, I'd say hire a good attorney. You listen to Mike Tyson's podcast, that's what he says. You don't even need a promoter nowadays. You just need a good attorney that sets the rules and the conditions of the fight, and make sure those conditions aren't violated, so you can make sure that everything checks out for the bell rings. And that's why Floyd was smart to do that. With Pacquiao, he was smart to do that. With in my Donna's case, you got to hire your own people to check these boxes. And that's pretty much all I can say on that.
Right. And speaking of this incident, in fact, the fight that I was going to ask you next, which is Rigan Diaz versus Kuzmaro. I think that's his name, Kuzmaro. I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kuzmaro. I'm not familiar with Kuzmaro.
Kuzmaro, okay. Well,
but I'm familiar with Rigan Diaz.
Yeah, well, he in the Philippines, right? He fighting this weekend. He's actually a Manny Pacquiao fighter. Now, how shocking is it?
Oh, okay.
He pulled out of the Rigan Diaz fight. He actually pulled out of the fight, and he wanted to fight Donaire, who's another Filipino fighter. So when he was finna fight Donaire, the fight was, basically they did a little face-off, so on and so forth, and then the fight got canceled. And then that's when Donaire came out and said that the reason why he pulled out of the fight is because Kuzmaro is on steroids. He declined VADA testing.
Wow.
Because he's cycling off steroids in the Philippines. This is Donaire snitching not snitching. This is Donaire exposing Kuzmaro for basically being on PEDs and cheating because he declined a VADA test. Now, what's so shocking is that, yeah, of course, Donaire ended up turning down the fight, as he should. But guess what? Rigan Diaz accepted the fight again on the same day he was going to fight him the first time. So the reason why Kuzmaro pulled this move by pulling out of the Rigan Diaz fight to fight Donaire because he was still cycling off and he didn't want to get VADA tested. But then, because he didn't accept the VADA testing against Donaire on time, Donaire knew what he was doing. Because, again, this is actually a fighter that's in camp with Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines. He was training with Pacquiao. So he's a Manny Pacquiao fighter. So, like Victor Conte said, what fighters do that take steroids, they take steroids over a period of time, which is like 4 months. And then they cycle off and try to cleanse their body 2 months before the fight when they actually get tested. So if they know there's a VADA testing, if they know there is a date where they finna get tested, guess what they do? They end up cleansing their body where they be ready, where their body's already clean in case they get tested, right? So if they know the start date, that's when they only come when they already cleansed and clean. But they still get the benefits of taking steroids because they've been on it for like a couple months already prior to the camp.
Right.
So they just all they got to do is just maintain their shape till fight night. And this is what the Kacimaro kid did with Rigondeaux. I hit up Rigondeaux on Twitter, on Instagram, and I told him, "Yo, are you testing him?" He said this. He can't talk about it. I'm like, oh man, So Rigondeaux at 40, 41. I don't know how old is Rigondeaux right now. He fights once every 2 years. He's going up against a fighter that's essentially on steroids, and nobody talks about it. Even though Donaire was smart enough to take the fight, but guess what? It ain't that Rigondeaux is not smart enough to do the same, but Rigondeaux can't afford turning down any opportunity. They've been blacklisting him for years. Mares, Cruz, Quigg, Frampton.
Right.
They all ducked him. They all vacated the belts and moved up when he beat Donaire in his prime. So he been looking for an opportunity since then. That's why he had to move up 3 weight divisions to fight Lomachenko, because he was desperate for an opportunity and put himself in a huge disadvantage where he can't even win anymore. But that's why he ended up taking this fight, which is what I mean. That's why he ended up taking this Kacimaro fight, knowing this man is most likely cycling off steroids and he's going to be on steroids fight night. So with that being in mind, how do you see that fight playing out? Because, of course, from the outside, I mean, Rigondeaux is really like 50% of what he used to be, but 50% of what he used to be is still good enough to beat anybody. But what's your take on Kacimaro? Because Kacimaro is, if you're not too familiar with him, he's not that brilliant from the outside, but he's very explosive in the inside. Like he was jumping on some Castano. If you're familiar with the Argentinian fighter, he will jump in like a Castano, and he's really sharp in the inside, hit hard as hell, put together great combinations, and that's how he knocks a lot of cats out. So how do you see that fight playing out? Because Rigondeaux, it is old, and we've seen his last couple of performances, he just looked like a shell of himself. So can he beat somebody on steroids, essentially?
I mean, that's tough. I think Rigondeaux, I can't really speak on Kacimaro because I haven't seen him fight, but Rigondeaux, he seemed to have. I saw the fight with Lomachenko. We seemed to have a little bit of trouble with him. Lomachenko seemed kind of bully smaller guys. He can get in on these angles and he can go over the jab.
Yeah, but Rigondeaux,
he can catch people that way.
Loma, that was more of a size advantage, which enabled him to do that. Advantage. You feel me? So because Loma was like, what, I don't know, like 20 solid pounds, 20, 30 solid pounds bigger than Rigo, and Rigo moving up 2 weight divisions. Loma being active, Rigondeaux not. Loma being the younger fighter, Rigo being old. So that had a lot to play with it. The good thing that's going for Rigo in this fight is they both is the same size.
Yeah, he's got a chance because he's very elusive, Rigondeaux. So he's definitely got a chance. He's got some pop. The good thing about it is, I mean, what is he at? 20 fights, Rigondeaux?
Yeah.
So it's not like he's, it's not like he's completely washed or completely like 50 fights in at 40 years old. So he's still got. I guess maybe we could expect to see him to have decently fresh legs. So if he can avoid the brawler, this guy seems like a brawler. He could avoid the brawler. He could possibly win on points.
He just have to.
He's got a chance, but
you're right. No, you're right. But see, he just have to fight his fight because his last 2 fights, I see Rigondeaux stay in the pocket with a high guard. Not really moving his upper body, moving his head. He was just taking punches, trying to please the fans. Like, what is you doing? It's too late for that. I mean, just fight your fight. These fans, you damn if you do, damn if you don't to them. They don't care how you fight. Just win. The best way is to shut the critics is you win. So I feel like Rigondeaux, as long as he fights his fight, not try to please the crowd, stay in the pocket, because if he do that, he definitely getting stopped by this cat. Especially him being on steroids, it ain't even a question about it. But if Rigondeaux does what he does the best, which is fight, box, counterpunch, and with his power, he a devastating puncher, especially at 118. Remember, he lost to Loma at 130, which is 3 divisions south of 118. So 118, he's a devastating puncher. I mean, he's accurate. And like I said, for the people that's in the comment section that brought up, hey, why the public don't know about this, at the end of the day, this is public knowledge because Donaire exposed what's his name? Casimiro, can't even say his name.
Casimiro,
yeah.
Casimiro.
Yeah, so he Donaire already exposed them in the public. So people already know what time it is. It's just old media choosing not to talk about him. So, I just feel bad for Rigondeaux because that's what he got to do. He got to do the most to get a fair shot, or not even a fair shot, just to get a fight, But that's what he's going to have to do in order to get an Inoue fight, because if he captures this belt, then it ain't no question about it. Once he fight, Inoue's going to have to face him then. Inoue can't say, oh, Rigondeaux, Bob can't say that, because Inoue said that he wants to become undisputed. So I'm interested in seeing that. But last prediction before I let you go, because I got to pick up another caller. Virgil Ortiz versus Mean Machine. The fight is this weekend. We've seen Mean Machine give Terrence Crawford a good fight. Terrence didn't fight the proper fight. He didn't fight the right game plan, which allowed Mean Machine to have a lot of success, including knocking down Terrence Crawford for the first time. Obviously, it wasn't ruled a knockdown, but to me, it was a knockdown. Nevertheless, this is a 50-50 fight. Virgil Ortiz, he's nice with a 1-2. In my humble opinion, I think seeing Mean Machine last performance, he was getting hit a lot with the 1-2. So that's going to be the recipe to success for Virgil Ortiz, is really the 1-2. And really, once Crawford turned orthodox, he ended up stopping Mean Machine. So I think Virgil Ortiz matches up well against Mean Machine, but still, Mean Machine got skills and he have the power to make it an interesting fight. And seeing Virgil Ortiz last performance, he was getting caught a whole lot of times, clean. And I didn't like the fact that I forgot the guy. What was Terrence Crawford homeboy name that fought Virgil Ortiz last?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, hold on. Let me look.
I think that
Hooker, something like that. Hooker.
Yeah. Hooker.
Yeah,
that was the fight I was thinking about.
Yeah, he stopped him in 6 rounds, but I'm just saying, like, he was just getting hit too clean in my book, more than usual. So, I mean, we will see. What's your prediction on that? I feel like Mean Machine matches up well as far as this. This is really an interesting fight, because Mean Machine has the speed and power, so does Virgil. So, how you see that fight playing out?
And they're both righties, right?
Yeah, orthodox.
They both, I think Mean Machine got hit with a mean check hook when Crawford went southpaw too, and so he's vulnerable to that. But I think that it's gonna be a slugfest. Probably Mean Machine pulls it out.
Oh, so you actually picked Mean Machine?
Yeah, just because I think he's a little bit more powerful than Ortiz, to be honest with you. And I think Ortiz, he's going to come forward and he's going to get hit with a lot of shots because Ortiz, I think Mean Machine throws more punches,
Yeah, but Virgil got all knockouts, right? I think he got all stoppages by KO. So you think he's more powerful in the sense of what do you mean in the sense of he hit harder or physically stronger? Can you elaborate on that?
Or Virgil got all knockouts? I didn't even know.
I think he got like 17 fights, 17 KOs, or 18 fights, 18 KOs. So he do hit hard. They both hit hard. But Mean Machine, he is a crispy puncher.
I think he's like physically, stronger,
right,
bigger. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Well, hey, we'll see, man. Yeah. It's gonna be a great fight. At least we got something to look forward to. Errol Spence situation. Errol Spence situation really broke my heart. But let me great talking with you, my man. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the next call.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, my man Garcia from, I think, New York. I'm gonna call you. You know, I'm gonna pick up your call right after. You know, I ain't forgot about you, but I gotta pick up this call. I think this is the guy I was supposed to debate. I mean, he calling in like toward the end of the show, but I think this is the guy I was supposed to debate. How you doing, AKHi? 661.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh yeah, what up? What up, bro? Ham? What up with it? What up with it? How you doing?
Man, I thought you was gonna be a no-show, man. I thought you was trolling me on some Ryan Garcia, Rolly. You know,
Nah,
I was like, man, my man, he done pulled a cap 19 on me. What's going on? What's up
nah,
with you?
not even, man. We run for crime on these guys. Shit different, bro. You know, we'll do a mix with the homie. You feel me? We be boxing and shit. You feel me?
I got you. I got you. Now you know, just let the public know. Well, I'm gonna let them know. You hit me up on Instagram saying that you want to debate 1-on-1, and you're gonna knock me out and put an
Yeah,
L on my record. You know,
yeah,
AKHi's
man.
undefeated, and
Yeah, man. Check it out.
They call
anybody
me the
can get
problem,
it. You know
but
what
you
I'm
can call me
saying?
the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans,
Anybody
Dominicans,
can get it.
Mexicans,
Mexicans,
anybody
Dominicans,
can get it.
Africans, and about to beat the shit out of I can. You feel me?
All right. So what's going on?
Follow me on Instagram. They say I hit hard as fuck. You feel me? Follow me on Instagram, bro. Watch my videos, bro. We really boxing out here, family. It's real, bro. We in Palmdale. That's where Paul George from. Grace Boxing Club. Look it up, family. Grace Boxing Club. It's real. My Instagram is They Say I Hit Hard as Fuck. Check it out, bro. I'm putting pressure on these dudes, man. In Cali, they shut it down because of the COVID. We couldn't compete, you feel me? Because we about to bust on the amateurs, knock them shits out of the way, go pro, snatch them belts as soon as possible, you feel me? We've been putting pressure. We've been on the champs pages. The champs fuck with us in the DMs, but they don't want to do it in public. It's cool. I don't know why, but it is what it is, you feel me? We put pressure on the fam like, yo, just spar me. Just spar me. Dudes look at them, they see the DMs, you feel me? Just like when you hit people up. I'm sure you hit people up. They read your DMs. They don't hit you back because they know you got the truth. Bro, my Instagram is They Say I Hit Hard as Fuck because I do. It's real. You feel me? But I got to tell for you, family. You say Canelo be ducking, bro. Is that a fact? That's what you think?
Nah, that's not what I think. That's the truth. That's a fact. So
that's the truth.
Yeah,
that's a fact. This is what I think. Here's the truth. Here's the fact, fam. No lie, he following the green print, fam. That's the green print Floyd laid out, bro.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. When is he going to start doing what Floyd Mayweather did throughout his career? Because it's a fact.
What do you mean?
Because so it's a fact.
As far as what do you mean exactly?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. You compare him to Floyd, which is a disrespect to Floyd Mayweather. Because when is Canelo going to start doing what Floyd Mayweather did throughout his career? Floyd Mayweather, as Pretty Boy, he was the boogeyman. Something Canelo was never. Canelo was never the boogeyman. That's first of all. So Floyd Mayweather, as Pretty Boy, he fought, Corrales, Castillo, Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, and so many
Zab.
more. Yeah, Zab, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. But a lot of fighters avoided him at the same time, right? It wasn't until he became Money Mayweather where he became the A side. But even then, he still fought the best. He fought Manny Pacquiao, who's still kicking ass to this day. You know what I'm saying? For somebody like Pacquiao, who got more
cojones. He was
like
100 years old.
Yeah. But Pacquiao got more cojones
that was
than Canelo.
That was a high-level exhibition.
Yeah. But Pacquiao old, but he's 42 years old today, still kicking ass. He got more cojones than Canelo Alvarez, and that's a fact. So what I'm saying is Floyd Mayweather beat Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather was older than Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather challenged Pacquiao in his prime. It was Pacquiao who turned down the fight because of a drug test. Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo, Maidana, Cotto, Mosley, and the list goes on and on and on. So, since you compared Floyd Mayweather to Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather made a living.
The green print.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather made a living.
Print.
Floyd Mayweather made a living.
Not him. The game plan.
Okay.
To get the bag.
Okay.
He getting the bag.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get to that. But Floyd Mayweather made a living off beating Mexican fighters. He told Oscar De La Hoya, "You line him up, and I beat him. I knock him down." So, why doesn't Canelo return the favor and beat all the black fighters from Charlo, Andrade, and all these fighters, even Benavidez? So why he don't return the favor that Floyd Mayweather did, beating up all these Hispanic fighters on Cinco de Mayo? Why doesn't Canelo do the same? Since you compared him to Floyd Mayweather.
I'm not comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. I'm comparing getting the bag to Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd was fighting Berto,
that was his retirement fight. That was his retirement fight. Canelo was in his prime.
Calling him out. I'm just saying though, like he was getting the bag.
That was Floyd Mayweather retirement fight. That was Floyd Mayweather retirement fight. Canelo is in his prime right now.
He retired, but then he fought Conor.
Canelo is in his prime. Floyd Mayweather, you comparing him to after he beat Pacquiao, the fight of the century, then he fought Berto as a retirement fight. Right now, Canelo just fought Ivini.
The bag.
Oh, Ivini's the bag?
The bag.
Is Ivini the bag?
Bro.
Is Ivini the bag?
Is Ivini the bag?
Fighting Ivini's for the bag?
How much he made for Ivini, bro?
15 million? Less than that, probably. 15 or less.
How much did he get an endorsement for Ivini, bro? How much did he get in pay-per-view for the date for Ivini, bro?
So you said he made how much more? Canelo was offered 40 million plus to fight Demetrius Andrade for undisputed at 160. Canelo said his dream is to become undisputed at 160 and become the first middleweight of all time to be undisputed. The Zone offered him.
He did say that.
He did say that, right?
Facts.
Okay. The Zone offered him 40 million guaranteed to fight Demetrius Andrade on the Zone. You said Canelo follows the Floyd Mayweather green print. You said Canelo fights for the bag. So why did he turn down his biggest offer, the biggest money he ever made in his entire career to this day? You keep talking about the bag. So explain to me why he fought Billy Joe Saunders, why he fought Ivini, why he fought Rocky Fielding for less money than Demetrius Andrade for the bag. Don't
say that last part again, fam.
Don't tap out on me.
Say that last part again. Say that last part again.
Why? You said Canelo fights for the bag. You said Canelo fights for the bag.
Say what you said after Billy Joe Saunders.
You said no.
After Billy Joe Saunders.
The question is very clear. The question is very clear. You said Canelo fights for the bag, right?
The green print, man.
Okay.
He got the green print.
Okay, so
big
the green
bag,
print,
less risk.
Okay.
Big bag is less risk.
Okay,
you feel me? It's bank robbing. Is it not bank robbing? Don't call it bank robbing.
Floyd Mayweather fought Pacquiao. That was a big risk.
That was what?
Floyd Mayweather fought Pacquiao. That was a big risk.
Big risk.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't?
I'm not gonna disrespect nobody because we be boxing. You feel me? Instagram, they say I hit hard as fuck because I do. But you know, there's boxing. But it's real, bro. You know it's gonna be easy work.
No.
If you know anything about boxing, you know it's gonna be easy work.
Stop deflecting from the point. You said Canelo fights.
You knew it was gonna be easy work.
No. Pacquiao was no easy work. Risk. Pacquiao was no easy work. So was Canelo easy work for Floyd?
Are you not gonna say Pacquiao was easy work for Floyd? You don't think that was easy work?
That was the guy who was supposed to beat Floyd.
Who?
Pacquiao. That was the fight. That was the fighter that was supposed to beat Floyd. Wasn't okay. How about this? Because you keep deflecting. We know Pacquiao wasn't it.
I'm answering your question. Big bag, low risk.
So Pacquiao was low risk.
Easy work is low risk.
Was Canelo low risk for Floyd?
Are you kidding me? Do you know about boxing, family? I'm not even gonna disrespect you on your own thing, bro. Easy work.
So who
you know what's up, family? Green, big bag, low risk.
So who was a high risk for Floyd then?
Zab, Shane, back then. You feel me? Once you get A side, bro, you know once you get A side, you control.
Okay. Hold on. Pause. You said Zab and Mosley was high risk.
They wasn't.
You said I want to.
They wasn't higher risk than. They wasn't higher risk. They wasn't higher risk than young Canelo and old Pacquiao, bro. They wasn't.
Okay, confirm. I want to confirm it. You saying Zab and Mosley was high risk for Floyd, right?
Just like that. Those fights back then was way higher risk, bro.
Okay. Did Floyd Mayweather fight them?
Yeah, he fought him.
Exactly. So why doesn't Canelo fight Andrade?
Because he don't have to, bro. Big bag, low risk. Because I'm A side. Get the money, bank robbery. You hear Floyd, bro?
It's no A side. You You just said
He's
you
not
contradicted
A-side?
yourself. You
Canelo
contradicted
not
yourself.
A-side to Andre?
You contradicted
Canelo
yourself.
not A-side to Andre?
You contradicted
Canelo?
yourself. Stop
Not
trolling.
A-side to Andre?
Hey, look, I'm gonna have to mute.
Bro,
I'm
Andre
gonna
can
have
get
to
the
mute
bro,
you. I'm gonna have
bro.
to mute you if you keep trolling me. I'm gonna have to mute you if you keep
I'm
trolling
answering
me.
your question.
You're not
I'm
answering
your
the question.
questions.
You
I'm
deflected. You deflected
I'm
from
giving
my
you the
point.
air. What
You
you mean?
digressed from my point. So don't cut me off. I'm about to talk. If
Bro.
you cut me off again, I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you because you keep cutting me off, and I don't got time. I don't got time. Hey, but it's time for you to get this work on some loaded Lux work, though. You're a decaf, and you gonna get this work today. You know what I'm saying? So let me say this.
YouTube Michael Punchline, bro.
Okay. So he said Canelo Alvarez is following the green print. So we going that route. Andrade is his biggest payday. Andrade was his biggest payday at the time. The biggest fight of his career. 40 million guaranteed. For undisputed, his dream that he set for himself. And he admitted it, right? Guess what Canelo Alvarez did? He turned that fight down to fight Kovalev for less money. And it wasn't no undisputed fight. He cherry-picked a hurt Kovalev, right? Then he switched it up when I cornered, I cornered him, and you know what I'm saying? I made him wave the white flag. I made him tap out. Then he said, "Oh, it's risk reward." That's what Floyd Mayweather did. He wanted to fight the biggest bag for the lowest risk. So I told, obviously, Pacquiao for Floyd Mayweather was a big risk. Canelo was a big risk. Canelo was 23 years old in his prime. Canelo Alvarez was a bully at 154. Floyd Mayweather, that was his fifth weight division. And Floyd Mayweather was 37 years old. That was a high risk for Floyd. But why did he take the high risk? Because it's high risk, high reward. Pacquiao was high risk, high reward. Guess what? Canelo Alvarez versus Andrade, high risk, high reward because it's money, right? It's for the bag. Just like Charlo, it's for the bag. Benavidez, it's for the bag. But Canelo turned down every single fight. That's for the risk. That's for the money. Like he claimed. So how are you going to compare Canelo to Floyd Mayweather? The $1 million question is, when is Canelo going to do what Floyd Mayweather did? The green print, right? That's why Canelo continues to flop on the zone. That's why Canelo ratings, the zone never puts out his ratings. That's why the zone lost his contract with the zone, because he was cherry picking, and the zone did not want to continue to pay him for the cherries he was selecting. When he selected Avini, a fighter coming off a loss, guess what? The zone stripped him of his contract because he was cherry picking. And then when Al Heyman even offered him $40 million guaranteed to fight Caleb Plant plus pay-per-view, his biggest offer till this date, yet again he turns it down for undisputed. So I'm gonna ask you the question again. I don't want you to tap out on me. You say Canelo Alvarez fights for the money. It's all about the green print. Then why did he duck Demetrius Andrade for undisputed for his biggest payday of his career? Just like he gave up his belt to Charlo and avoided Benavidez to cherry pick Avini. Why did Canelo turn down the biggest offer of his career if it's about the money, if it's about the green print? Take the stand.
Next question. You fired. Hey, yo, bro. You hear me?
You're going to get this work. That's what you're going to get.
Yo, you ain't
answer the question.
You ain't have to move me, man.
No, because you're trolling. You're trolling. I don't got time to troll.
You're not even... Bro, what you mean? I let you talk. You muted me.
Can you answer the question?
I start talking. You don't like what I'm saying.
But can you answer the question? Can you answer the question?
But you're not even taking what I'm saying as a fact.
Can you?
You I'm telling you the green print.
Why he didn't take Floyd Mayweather the green print to take the biggest money? If it's all about the green print, why doesn't he follow the green print and fight Andrade for the biggest payday of his career? Why doesn't he fight Benavidez for the biggest payday of his career? Why doesn't he fight Charlo for the biggest payday of his career? Nobody cared about Avini. When they did a poll asking the fans who you guys want to see, everybody picked Charlo. then Benavidez, then Andre. So why he don't fight the fights that the fans want to see? Instead, he cherry picking fights that nobody want to see. So why doesn't he follow the green print you talking about?
Hey, bro, you keep muting me, bro. You not punking nobody, bro. You muting me, fam. What's that?
Go ahead, take the stand, because, you know, answer the question. If you can't, you got to go. Take your L and go elsewhere.
You keep muting me, bro. Like,
take your L and go elsewhere. Me, answer the question. Take your L and go elsewhere. So why doesn't he? Why doesn't Canelo follow the green?
Look here, you bitch ass nigga. Don't you ever come to me disrespect, you bitch ass nigga from the east side of Pacoima. You bitch ass nigga.
So you talking tough online? You talking tough online? You hit hard. You hit hard. So you gonna talk tough online behind the phone? So that's what I'm talking about. See, you soft as hell right now. You showing you soft as hell because you emotionally attached. You talking out your a-hole. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. Your a-hole is just bigger than other opinions. Your a-hole is bigger than others, just like your opinion. You got a bigger opinion, but that doesn't make your opinion a fact. Like I said, that's why you got stuck. That's why you tapped out. You a pound for pound decaf on split decision. You hit soft as fuck. You hit soft as hell. You hit soft as hell. Man, you hit soft as hell. That's who you are. You hit soft as hell. And you ain't gonna do shit because anybody can get it.
But you could call me the can man because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
And you
don't know shit about boxing. You better not duck me.
I lost brain cells talking to you. I lost brain cells talking to you. And that's what's up with these, you know, keyboard warriors that's thugs online. You know, like this, the guy who hit soft as fuck. Mind my language. But let me go ahead and pick up, you know, the last caller. Hello? Oh, hold on. How you doing, Aki? Who this is and where you calling from?
Yeah, what's up, Aki? It's Kieran from Albany, New York.
Man, my apologies. I had to put you on hold because this man, we scheduled a date. We scheduled an appointment for him to call in the debate. And you saw how he started trolling, hit hard as he started talking about how he hit soft as fuck. I mean, like, he got stuck so bad. Like, I understand. Look, if you're going to tap out, just wave the white flag and acknowledge the point. You don't got to get mad. You don't got to get emotional like a female. That's what he showed. He just showed that he a female, that a man with no cojones, a man that needs to get cojones implanted, because only a man with no cojones is going to defend another man with no cojones. You know what I mean? Like, it's a clear duck. The man got stuck, and now he over here acting gangster on split decision. Take that to the ring. I bet you he get bullied every day. He get beat up in sparring every day. Because see, I'm gonna tell you one thing about people that really is about that life. That talk of how they live it. They don't talk that gangster shit over nothing, over a disagreement, over him being wrong. That's how you know. That's how I know he bitch made. Because he's emotionally attached to a fighter that he couldn't even defend. Canelo ain't even defending himself over ducking Andrade and Charlo and Benavidez. He told them, you a horrible fighter. You made it to the horrible fighter list. That's the reason why he ducked him. And what he means by horrible fighter, he means a horrible matchup. Because we know Avini was a horrible fighter. We know Rocky Fielding is a horrible fighter. And they more of a horrible fighter than an Andrade. And that's a fact. And he fought them with no problem. But he won't fight Andrade to become undisputed. He won't fight a horrible fighter to become undisputed. But again, that's why the reason why he won't is because it's a horrible matchup. That's what Canelo means. So take the stand, my brother. Talk to me. What you think of the knockout I displayed on split decision? Now, was that a TKO or was that a KO where he went to sleep for like 2 minutes and I had to wake him up?
Oh man, that was a murder. That was a beautiful, yeah, very, very beautiful TKO murder victory. Shit felt like Mortal Kombat to me.
Man, finish him. You know what I'm saying? I had to finish him. But and you know who's next? You know who's next, right? I'm gonna hit up your man. I had to get up, you know, I had to get this fool out of here first. But next, hopefully I'm gonna schedule a date with my man IBFB or whatever his name is, you know, You know,
Oh,
no dis-
BFTB? Yeah, BFTB.
no disrespect. You know, I BFB. Man, I'm butchering the name, but you know, I'm gonna hit him up on Instagram and I'm gonna have him call in to see what he's talking about, you know, to get his perspective on the situation. But I do want to get your take. I really want to get your take on, you know, Terrence Crawford came out and said that the Sean Porter fight most likely is going to purse bid because it seems like ESPN, Top Rank, and PBC haven't came to a mutual agreement, and the time is running out. So most likely it will go to purse bid. So if it does go to purse bid, which what I've been saying all along, that it should go to purse bid because the fighters' value in the open market is way higher than the promoters value them to be. Do you expect PBC to win the purse bid, or do you see another entity snatching the fight like Triller or DAZN?
Me personally, I think PBC is going to be the winner out of this first bid. The only reason why I don't want this to go to Triller is because one, I feel like Triller, you know, they're not good business wise, and two, you know, even if they bid like a lot of money for this fight, you know, like where, you know, will let the fight be? You know, I wouldn't mind seeing it in Vegas, but if I'm Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, I think to have a good pay-per-view event over this, I think Al Heyman is the guy to, you know, make this fight happen, not put it in the hands of Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn.
Man, that'd be the right thing to do. With Triller right now, I don't know how they operating. I don't know how they moving until they reschedule the TO fight. You know, it's seemed like they're losing a lot of money. I mean, we seen Mike Tyson. He talked about suing Triller because they didn't pay him his money. So with TO, you know, we don't know how that's gonna go. We don't know how that's gonna come about. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, hopefully T.O. ends up fighting Composer sometime soon, because if not, then if Triller pass on the T.O. fight, you know what that means? Then the second highest bidder will pick up the fight, which is DAZN. So we'll see if Triller picks up we'll see if Triller is even interested in Crawford versus Porter. In our reality, this is the fight they should have bid on from the jump. This is the type of fight they should bid on. You know, unlike the Composers versus Tio, that's not really that big of a fight on pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view fight. I could see this fight doing 300,000 pay-per-views, similar to Spence versus Porter, which if Crawford is able to do so, he will show that he's a star, just like Spence is. All he's missing is the recipe of the right names. You know, you got to have the names to go on pay-per-view. You can't just fight anybody and fight on pay-per-view. You got to fight a name. So this is a name that Crawford could definitely capture some really good pay-per-view numbers. What do you expect the pay-per-view numbers to be for this fight if the fight does go to you know, if it takes place?
Me personally, I want this fight to be at least 300 to 400,000 pay-per-view guys. I know it may sound kind of crazy because Crawford, he hasn't earned a lot of pay-per-view throughout his career, but like you said, if it goes out successful, which, you know, the promotion is there, the money is there, the fans are definitely there. I think this will be a very successful pay-per-view, and I just really hope that Terrence Crawford fans, you guys should really make sure that this fight can be made and stop making excuses for why this fight can't be made, because Sean Porter is one of Terrence Crawford's toughest opponents. And win, lose, or draw.
Who's making excuses?
I would say the Terrence Crawford fans. The Terrence Crawford, you know, like fanboys, right? A lot of them make excuses to say, well, you know, like, you know, even if this fight goes, you know, to purse bid, you know, they still wouldn't believe that the fight would be even made, because, you know, they always complain like about, you know, about the other side of what the street nonsense to say that PBC and Top Rank fighters will never, you know, get a fight together, but that's simply not true. It's obviously risk versus reward, and a lot of them don't understand that a lot of these fighters today just don't want to take a risk over the reward of what they receive.
Yeah, but as far as the Terrence Crawford fight, Terrence Crawford fans, excuse me, I mean, I don't know who's saying these silly comments, but I'm just obviously Crawford is not moving the way his fans think, if that's the case, because Crawford wants this fight. He said that he happy the fight is getting made on Teddy Atlas' interview today. So this is a fight he's pursuing, and he's not, he's not vacating his belt like Canelo Alvarez did, put it that way. So as far as the fight, there is no reason to why this fight shouldn't happen or take place next. Because what people got to realize, if Crawford doesn't fight Porter next at this point in time, he will get stripped of his title like Canelo Alvarez did against Charlo and like Loma did against Devin Haney. So there's no, he will fight Porter. I mean, it's too late for that type of, statements or he should or shouldn't. Crawford at this moment in time is fighting Porter next, and that's a fact. Unless Porter goes another direction, now that's a different story, which that's Porter fault if he turned down the fight. But at this moment in time, Crawford ain't turning down the fight. I mean, that's just obvious, So this fight is already is heading to PEDS most likely, which means both fighters going to get paid a lot of money, and neither fighter should turn this fight down, especially Sean Porter, because this is the biggest fight of his career. Against pound for pound number one, against a fighter who really is going to be his biggest payday fighting as well. So this is the fight we all been asking for, and man, I can't wait. And any last comments? My camera died on me, and I'm make it up. I'm gonna pick up your calls. Your call earlier next time because I had to get this man out of the way. You know what I mean? I had to murder. You know what I'm saying? That was on the line today. So any last thoughts?
Yeah, man. To hell with Tyson Fury. And I wish Pacquiao-Spence a speedy recovery. And to hell with Rolly Romero. I really wish he took this Devin Haney fight. I know one of his stablemates, Zarina McCoy. I had an interview with her on my channel. If y'all want to check it out, KRAD7435. Check out that video. Thank you very much,
Hey, hold on. Link that again. You had an interview with who?
Wait, what?
Yeah, link your channel again, because you said it and you kind of said it kind of fast. You said you had an interview with somebody.
My channel, my channel is KRAD7435. I'll link it in the comments after this live stream is over.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Do that. And with that being said, I appreciate you. What's your message to Rolly trolling Devin and now backpedaling out of the fight before you go?
I just say to hell with you, man. You're making Cubans look bad, and this is coming from coming from a black Puerto Rican, and I don't understand why you would talk all this mess, and now you just created the biggest drama in boxing history. So, Rolly, if you're listening, fight Devin, fight Jose Valenzuela, get that ass beat and take it like a man, dude. That's it.
Man, always pleasure talking with you, man. That's my
man. Appreciate you, bro.
So, that's my man. Always cooking them up. Subscribe below, click on the notification bell, and to be continued on the next episode of AKHi TV. Hit that like button if you're an AKHi of mine. Hit that like button and the notification bell. It's not going to cost you a penny. It's free. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.